Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue by putting some gravel on this side here. I went ahead and rinsed this gravel in the water. So I prepared this tray with a piece of paper towel on it so that after I rinse the plants, I'm gonna separate them out and put them on that tray. I'm gonna start off with the Anubias. So what I wanna do is take it out of the cup. I'm trying not to damage the roots, so I'm pulling the stuff away very delicately. Alright, so it's been about a month and this is what the tank looks like after a month of growth. You can see that the dwarf baby tears have spread out quite a bit and almost completely covered the area I wanted them to cover in the beginning. They just need a little bit more to cover all of the soil underneath them. As you can see, I've also shifted some plants around. There used to be some S. repenses on that side of the rock there. I moved them over to this side here, trying to make them fill this area up. I've also put a couple of those over here to fill this area up. The Anubias hasn't really been doing all that well. A lot of the leaves have been lost. There are some new ones coming in though. They're just sort of staying the same. They're not really growing all that much. The S. repents especially have also grown quite a bit. As you can see, they've grown pretty tall. They got a lot of new leaves. They covered all the ground they needed to cover so far on this side. The AR Mini, the red plant here, has been the one that's been growing the most craziest. I have to constantly cut off new leaves to keep it in check because it just grows like crazy, and if I don't take care of that, it's just going to cover everything in the tank. However, they look really nice, and to keep them red, I do add a lot of iron into the water. Also, good amount of light and CO2 will keep them red as well. As you can see, there's actually some inhabitants in our tank. We got some shrimps. I'm not going to go too detailed on the shrimp just yet. I might have to do that in a separate video. Quite a lot to cover there. Over here on this side is my CO2 diffuser. I ended up using this type of diffuser, which came with my CO2 kit. And here's the way it's been hooked up. I have a check valve here, and then the tube continues down. I've also added a brand new plant in the very back there. That's supposed to grow really tall and really wide. It's supposed to just sort of cover this end of the wall of the aquarium, this black area where the filter is behind. But I just planted that maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, so it's going to take some time before that grows really tall. We'll see how that progresses later on. Alright, so stay tuned for the next part in this video series where I talk about how I maintain this tank and the tools I use to do it, the tools I use to trim the plants and kind of keep the water clean and test the water. Here's the water testing kits that I have, then I use weekly to test the water, as well as some of the chemicals I've added to the tank every week to keep the water clean and nourished for the plants. So please subscribe to stay in tune for the next part of this series and give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching.